So today I went out and I got myself made up, right? I'm looking like a boss. So listen, there's this very not so sensitive topic I believe we must have with our kids. It's this thing of shoving stuff inside the ear holes and the nostrils and like, what the heck? Maybe our parents never taught us that these are very sensitive holes. These holes, guys, they are very sensitive. Let me tell you what happened. So I'm sure that now everybody knows that I am here to raise an awareness, right? Yeah, I'm driving, but I'm in a safe zone. I'm here to raise an awareness about how we speak to ourselves, how we speak to our kids, how we address certain discussions with our kids, right? So I've got 6 kids, and all 6 of my kids, they showed me flames when it comes to these holes that we have. I'm talking about our nostrils, our ear holes, the A hole, the V hole, guys, even the P hole, right? I'm talking about the boys' P hole. So let me start with my eldest. My eldest, if I'm not mistaking his age, he's going to be 25 this year, right? He went to go shove castic rice grains in his nostrils, right? He nearly died because he couldn't breathe. Plus, he was still very small and he didn't know that he could also breathe through his mouth. I don't know what was he thinking. But then obviously he's a child and he's curious, and then, yeah. Then there was Dean, my 16-year-old. He's 16. He will be 17 this year. He went to shove those very old 1 rand coins and the 2 rand coins. He shoved it in his mouth, right? He also once tried to shove the I think it was a 10 cent that looks like a 5 cent now. Yeah, he tried to shove it in his a-hole, right? Okay, so guys, can we, you know what I do, right? I'm gonna come back and tell you the rest of the story of my other kids. What did they shove where? You know what I do now? I tell them that, you know what, these are very special holes, because if you shove stuff in your ears, then you won't be able to hear. If you shove stuff in your nostrils, you won't be able to breathe. I try to tell them this. Okay, I don't try to tell them. I do tell them. I tell them this in a very, very serious tone. Then now and again I'll be joking. But because I have to repeat it almost every weekend or almost every day with them, then I tell them, you know what, remember, do it while they're bathing. Tell them that, you know what, remember, while you are a human being, right, and you're not a builder and you're not a construction worker or whatever, so you have to know that your nostril is not for shoving anything. Your ears, you can't put anything inside there to keep it for later so you can come back and play with it. Your V-holes, ladies, my girls, I tell them, you can't take your chappy that you are hiding from your mom and put it there. You're going to have a very big problem for many days. Many days. Yeah, because my daughter, the second one, who's now 5, she'll be, yeah, she's 5. She did turn 5 already. She's going to be 6 next year, but she's 5, right? She's not allowed to eat gum because forgets that she's supposed to spit it out in the paper that she's eaten the gum from. She forgets that, and then she puts it in places to keep it for later. Right? So now one day we're busy, we're about to go to the toilet, we're traveling, we're about to go to the toilet, and we get to the toilet and she pees first, and then now while she's done peeing, she says, "Mom, can I please have ice cream?" She saw ice cream when we walked into this garage, and she says, "Can I please have ice cream?" So I said, "Okay, you're gonna have ice cream, I'll give you ice cream," right? So now while the rest of us are busy using the toilet, Madam decides to take the gum that she had in her mouth and put it there at the V-hole, keeping it safely for after she eats her ice cream, right? The long and the short of that one is that she put it there while she was eating the ice cream and we were traveling. She fell asleep, right? And we get home and now she's trying to go to the toilet, and then obviously now there's a problem. So that was a mission. Let me not even get there. I might have to leave that for another day. And if you're very curious, then just send me or comment or send me an email if you really want to know what happened, right? Wasn't a very good turnout, but eventually, yeah, we had to do what we had to do, and we fixed the V-hole, right? So, but guys, let's just address this thing and find a way of telling our kids that, you know what, these are very sacred holes, guys. Because let me come back now to my other kids. Then there's my son, who is 13 this year. He's going to be 14, right? He was, I think, 9 years old at the time. McDonald's gives these toys with their Happy Meals, right? So there came Shrek, and Shrek's body, the figurine of Shrek, you could dismantle it and you can put it together, right? Very tiny Shrek figurine, so tiny that the hand or the both hands of Shrek, they could fit inside his ear, right? Now we're inside the house, and then he's playing with the Shrek, and now the brother wants to play with the Shrek, and he tells the brother, "No, this is my Shrek," and then doesn't want to share the toy with the brother. He decides, you know what, he's gonna put the hands of Shrek inside the ears, right? God forbid that poor child, because he ended up in hospital. He had a very bad ear infection. He ended up in hospital, and then the doctor did eventually take it out. After, I think, 2 weeks, he stayed in hospital for 2 weeks, and then they got it out, and then they showed us what it was. That's how I know what it is that was in his ear, right? Guys, excuse me. I think if we just tell them on repeat, like when they're bathing or maybe when they're brushing their teeth, to just remember that these holes of ours, they are not for safekeeping. You can't take something, put it inside there, and then you're gonna think, you know what, I'm gonna come back later, I'm gonna find this thing. Because let me tell you something about all kids. They are very, very forgetful, okay? While they are still growing, and some of them, they only grow to a certain limit. Now, if you guys, you are not traveling, you're not taking your kids traveling, they're not doing extra curriculum activities like maybe playing a sport or doing running or swimming or something, you're going to have a very big problem, because there's no mental stimulus. They're not growing mentally. They will not remember a thing. The way to help your child to grow is to travel, right? You have them look at the road, and when you're traveling, no devices. They must look at the road. Then you teach them how to read. You teach them how to do extra activities, play board games, or play outside in the sand. Then you do swimming, maybe go for swimming lessons or something, but there has to be some activity that you're doing that creates a mental stimulation. They gotta see colors, right? This, guys, I'm not a psychologist. I'm not certified in any way whatsoever. I'm not a doctor. I'm just a mother who has been raising my 6 kids. Let me say my 4 kids now. I've been raising these 4 kids as a job, right? This is what I do every day. I wake up to raise my kids. My kids, they mean the world to me, right? And I want the experience so that I can share and raise. as I was saying, let's do this. Let's do this discussion with our kids. Let's do it every day. Let's make it a habit of doing it. Let's find a way to reiterate that these holes, they can cause infections if they shove stuff inside. And you know what? One of the important repetitions that I'm finding is that every child, it doesn't matter your race, it doesn't matter there's no portfolio to this, there's no culture to this either, right? But every single child everywhere, doesn't matter your race, doesn't matter your ritual, your culture, whatever it is, every child goes through milestones and their growth, and every child has to pass these stages. It doesn't matter who you are or where you are from. I have noticed this with all of my kids. They all go through this phase where they love playing with water, they love playing with soil, they love eating everything is for eating, right? And sometimes they end up with sicknesses and stuff because they've shoved stuff in the wrong places, sometimes because they've eaten something and they've forgotten what they ate. And I just believe that if you build your relationship and base your relationship on trust with your kids, I'm talking about your kids, you base your relationship on trust. Teach your child how to trust you, right? The reason you want to do this is because when your child trusts you enough, if anything should happen to them and they are not in your sight, they will have the trust in them to tell you exactly what happened. Like if somebody touches them, or if somebody fondles them, or if they ate something that they were not supposed to eat, they will have the trust within them to speak to you about it. Now, if they don't trust you, they're not going to tell you anything. Trust me, they're not going to tell you anything. You will break your head. You will turn around and stand upside down and whistle through your B or your A hole, right? They will not tell you anything as long as they don't trust you. And the way to make your child trust you is to always come with an understanding tone when they tell you anything. If they stole something and they confront you, you talk to them nicely. You don't just go around beating them. My thing when I want them to speak the truth is that I tell them, you know what? You speak the truth and you are untouchable. I won't be able to beat you. I don't even have a right to be upset as long as you speak the truth. And all children lie. Every single child. There's no way you're going to tell me your 5-year-old child doesn't lie. Your 3-year-old child doesn't lie. Your 9-year-old child doesn't. Every single child lies. You have to unteach them that behavior. These are things that come from our past. They come from our bloodlines. These what we call curses, right? You won't do anything until you address these matters. And these are our children. These are our future leaders. These are our future presidents, our future doctors, our future lawyers, our future engineers, guys. Let us treat them with the most humble kindness and forgiveness. Let us teach them how to respect each other. Let us teach them that the holes in our bodies, they are not for shoving stuff, rice, gum, money. Please, it's you know what? Children they are like, I don't know if you know what a mimer is. A mimer is somebody that just sees what other people do and then mimics it. It's called a mime. That's what kids do. Kids watch the behavior of others around them and they behave like that. They're either watching you and they're behaving like that, or they're watching kids around them, their siblings, or they're watching their teachers, or they're watching kids at their school and they're behaving the way that they are watching the behavior of other people. That's what they are doing. And you can subscribe to my channel, you can comment, you cannot like my channel, and you cannot like what I say. I speak what I live every day, every experience. I have my own experiences relating this topic, and that's the reason it's my niche. I've chosen to speak about it, and I'm going to be speaking about it for years to come, because I believe I'm going to live for many years to watch my kids graduate. They're going to become what they're going to become, and I'm going to live to share the knowledge that's within me with them, so that they can definitely become everything that they need to become. They need to live their purpose. This is my calling. I have an innate ability to communicate with children of all ages, races, cultures. It's my gift, it's my talent. And you know what, guys, when you find your gift and you find your talent, you will live by it, because that is who you are. We are all called to do a certain thing. There's nobody that's here without being here for a reason. So live your purpose. The only way to do that is to find what it is that you are called for. What are you here for? What are you supposed to be doing? Don't live with regrets. You don't want to live with regrets. You don't want to have your kids shove something in one of these holes, and then you find that they end up years later with a sickness or a growth in their body because of something that they shoved in their body from a childhood age, and the grandparents or the aunt, or even you for that matter, you were there and you just never checked. These videos, this channel is to make you aware that this is the world that we live in. This is the reality. Let's face our reality. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your comments. I appreciate your reaching out to me via email. It means so much to me. I will continue what I'm doing. This is what God called me to do. I won't stop doing it. I love your support. Thank you very, very much. And God bless you. Hi. Okay, so there I was, busy showing off about how I look like a boss. But then, guys, I've got very, very sensitive facial skin. So, yeah, there I went and okay, let's not be vulgar. But in any event, I was talking about earlier on this discussion on the holes and the stuff, and telling our kids not to pluck stuff in their nose or up their nostrils. Or if we don't do this ourselves, school is not going to teach them that. Apart from school not teaching them that, it's very obvious that there are a lot of things that us as parents, we must take accountability for them, and we must accept that there are things that we have to teach our kids ourselves, because there's nobody that's going to do it for us. It's our responsibility. These are our kids. We gave birth to them. Accept that for what it is, and now come to the party. Come to the party and just, you know what, have these discussions. They are very difficult, especially when you don't know how to talk to kids. I usually sit down. I pluck myself on the floor in the middle of wherever, and I talk to them, because forget about it if you think you're going to stand up and point your finger, or put your hand on your hip and point your finger at this 3-year-old who is down there at your knees. Her head is looking at her eyes, her eye level. They are looking at your thighs. They're not looking at your eyes. You have to come down to them, and you have to be able to talk to them while they are here. They are busy. You see now they are busy talking to themselves. Saying what? They have to do that every day. Each and every day after they bath, they must go and talk to themselves. I love myself. I forgive myself each and every day. Every day. They do it twice a day because they bath twice a day. So that's a rule. So, yeah, as I was saying, there are a lot of things that we must just take accountability for. And one of those things is the way that we speak to them. You have to calm down. Excuse me. Literally pluck yourself either on a chair or a stool that is one of their sizes, and sit down and talk to them at a point whereby their eye level, their eyeballs, eye sockets, you're directly in contact with them. From the youngest to the oldest, it's better if the older one is looking down on you. It's better if the older one is looking down on you than any other way, because then you don't want to be standing up there and then you're very tall and your kids, they have to look up to you. It gets boring where you have to hold your head up like this and your mom's busy talking to you and you're like, the butterfly flew by and now you caught the butterfly caught your eye and now you're going with the butterfly. What's more fascinating when you're 3 years old or 5 years old? The butterfly. So just calm down. So even when you're busy frustrating yourself and the child's eye caught the butterfly and she's no longer listening to you, you will understand what caught her attention. You won't shout at her. Even if you are shouting, come down to her level. Come down to her level. Let her know that she can put herself in a comfortable environment, in a position whereby this person that's called my mom, she comes down to my level. I have to at some point level with her. That is just it. Level with each other. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Love you loads. Ciao.